Hello, my name is Mario Hernandez, and I'm auditioning for a SCUM ambassador position. This is my audition video. This is my client, Zach, here. He's a new dad, and we're getting into Thanksgiving, so we gotta clean him up, make him look nice. Stick with me. So we're gonna start this haircut by creating a baseline. We're gonna go right up here, right above the ear, and we're just going to square this off right here. I start above the ear because if I'm wanting to create a square line, if I start here, the head has a little bit of a round, so I'll end up rounding this off rather than squaring it off. So right here is the flattest it's gonna be, and I work my way forward and then backwards. So that's nice and square now. And I'm gonna follow this all around the head. And now with my baseline in, I'm going to take my number 4, always open, and I'm going to rock just under that. So my baseline is my fence. This is as far as I wanna go. All right, and now that my number 4 is all complete around the head, I'll just work my way down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by creating a guideline with a lever open 0. And we're going to keep it relatively low. We're going to keep it around his sideburns. This little temple area here. And I'm flicking it out as I go. We're going to match it up here using the mirror. The correct C-scoop motion. You shouldn't leave yourself any type of hard lines. If you don't put any lines in, you don't have to get any lines out. Right behind the ear is right where I start to drop the fade a little bit. Kind of going with the round of the head. And now we're gonna meet the two. Right at the back here. I'm gonna reference the mirror here. Looks like they're both pretty even in this temple area. Take a look at the back, see if they're matching up. Looks like they are. All right, now with the lever closed, I'm gonna go about a pinky's width, or maybe even a ring finger's width, just under that, and I'm gonna create my next guideline. Flicking out just the same, nice C-scoop motion. And if you can see, I'm not really concerning myself with these hairs down here, because I'm just gonna get those with the trimmer later, and I don't have to chase them. And now I'm gonna go in with my trimmers, and I'm gonna go just under that, flicking it out right before I meet that line. Nice skin line here. Again, flicking out just before I meet the other line. And now I'm going to use my box shaver, just to get my absolute 0. Now these shavers work really well, but they don't work on long hair, so that's why I use my trimmer first. Now, I start my blend. So with the lever halfway open, because I've opened it and closed it, now it's halfway, I'm going to start to blur that line out. And I'm flicking out way before I meet the half line, and I'm kind of switching back and forth from lever medium to lever closed, and just getting any dark spots I might come across. Utilizing the corners of the blade here. And now that I've got this beautifully blended, I'm gonna take a look in the mirror, reference the mirror real quick, see if I see any other dark spots. That looks beautiful to me. Go in with my number 2, open, and we're going to just go about a thumb's width up. Again, not going past my baseline, just going right up to below it, and I'll be able to blend the two with my clipper over comb and or shear over comb, whichever one you're most comfortable with. This is what's going to create our heavy weight up through this section. All right, so now I'm going to take my 1.5, again, lever open, always open, and I'm just going to start to blend this out just slowly, little by little, going down, and bouncing in between open and closed, getting out any dark spots. Now we're down to our number 1, lever open, and we're going to start to blend that out again. And you're going to slowly start to see this little weight line start to disappear. All right, now we're going to go with the half guard. Again, lever open, always lever open. And we're going to start to touch up any dark spots that we might see. Now that we've got this pretty blended, we're still going to go back and we're going to look at any dark spots that I might see. See one right here, see one right here. And for that, we're going to use lever open, no guard, and just the corner of the teeth, maybe just the first 3 teeth of the blade. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my clipper over comb and blend from my, this is my number 2 right here, This is my guideline or my baseline, and I'm just going to join the two with the clipper. Taking my clipper comb at a bit of an angle, I find that my baseline is here, and where I stopped with my number 2 is here, so we're going to cut off what's in between. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit up any dark spots that I technically missed with the clipper. There are divots in certain people's heads. This one right here is just a small round of the head. It's pronounced here, not so much in here. So to get that dark spot out, I'm going to go through and I'm going to point cut that. Making sure to kind of go back and forth. This is just spot treating. Visibly, my comb looks like it's like this, but in all actuality, I have a bit of an angle on it, so I'm point cutting just with the tip of the shears. And once I'm satisfied with what I got, I'll move on. I got a little bit more right in here. So this comb right here is about a number 1. It's not getting quite tight enough to the head here. No matter how hard I try, there's just no more that it could give. This comb right here has a much thinner profile, so we're going to get in a little tighter with that one. Now we're going to move back to the top. I'm going to wet the top down pretty good, and I'm going to subdivide it or section it. And I'm going to start with a middle part, straight down the center. The water here is allowing me to control the hair just a little bit more. When it's wet, it tends to be a little bit more malleable. And my first section will be right here by the ear. Push this forward, push this back. Right at the apex of the head. Creating 4 panels. I'm going to create the 6 panels. So from the apex, I'm going to go right toward the recession, right there. Spin it around, we'll do the same thing on the other side. And we'll see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 panels. Thank you. We're gonna start with this right rear panel. This is my dominant side, so this is why I'm starting on the right. And I'm going to subdivide that section, small section by small section. I'm gonna go straight out from the head and just take square. Do the same thing over again. Just repeat the process. It may not be much. I'm gonna work on the other side now. Utilizing my baseline, which is right here, as my traveling guide. Now, knowing that he's going to part his hair on this side, I'm not going to go any further than this rear quadrant here. Now we're going to work with this panel right here. Again, finding my baseline. And now we're going to work on the top. I'm going to bring this hair forward, and then I'm going to cut this month's growth right off. And what that's going to do is it's going to create my first guideline. I'm going to do a bit of a mohawk section here. So as you can see, this is what I cut, this is what I have not cut. I like to point cut. Makes a much more dimensional haircut, in my opinion. Now I've just created myself a traveling guide. I'm going to utilize said guide, working my way backwards. Utilizing my bent brush, I'm going to start to give a little bit of volume in the front. That right there, as you can see, is nice and voluminous. I really don't want a ton of volume back here. I want this to lay relatively flat. I want to focus all of my volume and all of my texture right up in the front where you're going to see it. Follow the vent brush with the blow dry. Now I'm going to go through and just take out any bits of weight. It's pretty heavy right in this area, pretty bulky, so I'm just going to go through and remove some of that weight. I'm not focusing it at the root because I don't want a ton of volume back here. Because it's bulky, I'm just taking the tips off and removing excess hair. Now, top is finished, looking beautiful. I'm going to get in and do my magic on the beard. And that looks amazing.
Very nice. Yeah, I like it a lot. Looks great.
Sweet.
Very clean.
Lumberjack with a touch of modern.
Yes, sir.